Hey, 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 people, it's Friday.
Beards on the street time.
Beards on the street. I'm Parry. That's
Aaron.
Mr. A.A. Ron over there, and welcome to Beards on the Street, our weekly chit-chatty, talk about crazy stuff going on in our lives, and we bring on somebody usually that has something to say that's positive and good. Mm-hmm. How you been, Aaron?
Been good. It's been a chaotic week, but it's been good. Yeah.
Chaotic.
Well, listed, activated, did an open house last weekend, put it under contract, full price.
Nice job, dude.
Yeah, the market's going well. You prep it, you prop it right, they go.
Yes, so, big time.
Yeah, and this house is great. It's some great people. I'm having fun with it.
Nice. And you had another one too, didn't you?
That was a closing last week.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. The year's kicking off.
Hell yeah, I like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So it's already midway through January. Can you freaking believe that?
When I was younger, it seemed like time crawled, and now it just flies.
It's crazy how fast it goes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's, I've been a little bit under the weather, and our whole team's been under the weather. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's been kind of a challenging week. It's been pretty quiet around here.
It has been.
I can't wait to get the mojo back and rolling.
Yeah. Well, Shauna's back. She was in Detroit.
She went out to the UMW.
Yeah.
Or UWM.
UWM.
That's the lender out in Detroit that Aaron and I went out, and we talked about it on a past episode. She went out and
got to
checked it out.
Yeah, got to experience it. It's kind of a fun thing to see on the other side, our partnerships, what they're doing, how they're improving, and really kind of front running the business. And they are just movers over there.
Yes, they are big time movers.
Yeah,
like if you guys can picture, and we talked a little bit about it, but just picture the enormity of this. A big, huge building that used to be a car manufacturer.
It was a Chrysler manufacturing facility.
And it's just completely open and completely full of people at desks.
It's like 3 or 4 stories tall, and they build a building inside the building.
Yeah. Like, it's insane.
Open air, like just this monster environment.
And every department, like there'll be hundreds of people in a department, and that department has one specific thing that they're doing in the process.
Yeah, he pointed over and he's like, that's underwriting.
Yeah.
And we're like, all of that?
Can you believe how big underwriting was?
Yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Thousands, I think.
Insane.
Yeah. I think he said there was over 7,000 people that worked on site, and they're an on-site employer. They don't let people work off site.
And guys, this is all hands on deck. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Which honestly is the way to go. If you're going to have any type of an environment, you have to have I think you have to be in the shop and the synergy, camaraderie. It's kind of how we do it.
We talk about it all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Big deal.
Yeah.
So just a couple house cleaning things. If you have not subscribed to our podcast, come on, guys.
Yep, our YouTube channel.
Just go to YouTube and click the subscribe button. Help us out here, please.
We're having fun with it. And
promote us a little bit.
And we'd love
Talk
your
about
input
us.
And feedback would be great.
Yeah, send us any kind of feedback. We like feedback. Most feedback.
I don't know if I like all of it, but it's all good.
Feedback is good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, please subscribe. We hold this little podcast every single Friday at 11 a.m. and a little bit of a time change for 2024, but I like it.
He's helping me with a little bit of time with my kids because I was always running.
Bella's got to get a ride to school, man.
Yeah,
that's important.
Yes, for sure.
So, what else? What other house cleaning we got here?
You've been doing some cool stuff, and I think it's part of how we've run into our guests that we brought on today. But you're doing a bunch of videography.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of really
Remember, 2 episodes ago, we had Jaden here from Why We Dream. That's what they do, guys, is they basically take people like me, and I had a shoot with him yesterday, and the cat you're going to meet here that's on our show today, just so happened, I called him out of the blue yesterday morning. Here, let me introduce him right now. What the hell? Why not, right? Bam! There we go.
Hey,
Welcome, Zach. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Guys, this is Zach Gordon. Zach is a local, he's actually an agent, but his primary business is he does high-end custom builds or semi-custom builds.
Full custom.
Full custom.
Yeah, I've never built the same house twice.
Wow.
Every house is completely drawn from scratch.
Wow.
Dang.
And he also does really high-end remodels.
Yep. The only remodels we're really touching right now is go in full home.
Right.
So we're not going in and doing a kitchen. We're not going in and doing a bath. We're
Like you want to go and gut it and make it new.
Yeah. So we're going in and touching every part of that house.
Very cool. So anyways, yesterday morning, I knew that I was getting ready with the production crew to go out and shoot some videos for my next month worth of social media. And I was running a little behind, so I leaned on Aaron, who's the stinking guru of finding places. And by the time I got in the office, Aaron had me like 4 or 5 different ones, and I just looked at this one and said, "This is it." And so I called Zach, and I just out of the blue just said, "Hey, dude, an hour notice," and said, "I want to go out and I want to film at your house that you just finished up. It's in East Sandy. It's on Robidoux." What a cool name, dude.
It's an awesome street.
Yeah, very awesome. Guys, this neighborhood, if you
Gorgeous
don't know.
house, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Gorgeous house.
You got houses, you got $10, $15 million houses on this street.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty
I met your neighbors, a couple of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, he was asking her, "Are you guys my new neighbors? You moving in?" I'm like, "Nope, we're just trying to get it sold." So anyways, Zach went in and did a full-fledged remodel on this house, guys. It's a mid-century modern, and it is badass.
Yeah, we've
Like,
gotten
badass.
really good response, really good feedback. Everyone that shows it, every agent that shows it, it's in the top of their clients list. So hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, we'll see something on it. But
You will.
really good. I mean, I think at our open house, we had over 70 people come.
Nice.
So
it
over
looks
4
like
hours.
the pictures look like an Ethan Allen catalog.
Well,
I mean-
and let's talk about that real quick. We'll just throw a plug for your wife,
Yeah,
Zach.
yeah. Natasha Gordon.
Did she
our daily
design
tribe.
that?
Yeah. So
Wow.
she not only designs for our builds, she also designs for other builders. She has a couple other builders that pay her to come in and do. And then she does. Even she's done a couple nationwide. I'm gonna throw her under the bus if she ever listens to this. She'll actually kick my butt. But HGTV has reached out to her multiple times to cast her for a TV show, but she doesn't want to travel.
What?
We got young kids.
Oh.
She wants to stay local, and so
Priorities, mom.
Dedicated.
yeah, priorities being a mom.
Good for
first
her,
and doing
dude.
house
Yeah, good
second.
for her.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm doing a rebuild on a condo right now. I could have used her.
She's
That's the
incredible.
worst part for me is picking out all the dumb stuff.
I'll tell you too, even with some of the structural stuff that she comes up with, like in that house, if you notice, it's got the squoval.
Here, while you're talking, I'm going to show. I wish I had the
I actually
befores.
know. I know the one you're talking.
I had to learn what a squoval was to where all of it. It's like
Around the
stove. So around the stove, around all the hallways,
Yeah.
in the dining room,
Oh, the arch.
mudroom, the fireplace is actually a squoval. So she ties these designs in, and she'll come to me and be like, "Hey, I want to build this or do this," and I'm like, "Oh man, it feels like it's going to close the space in." But I've gotten to a place now. I mean, we've done enough
You trust
projects
her.
to where I'm just like, whatever you want.
Hell
Because I
yeah.
know, and I
You
tell
know
our
what you're
clients,
doing.
I'm like, "Hey, show her what you want, but then let her lead it. Promise it will turn
Yeah,
out
it'll be
better."
good.
Yeah, it'll promise.
Because this house, holy cow! So really quick, Zach's business is Vibe Homes and
company.
Company.
Yeah, Vibe Homes and Company. Yeah, just Vibe Homes is what people know about.
Vibe Homes. Here, I got to get rid of
I've
it.
actually seen your signs around.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out. This is at an angle looking into the kitchen, and more importantly, in that back corner there, you see another stove. That is a full-fledged, true butler's pantry.
Yeah, so that's actually where the old kitchen was, and where the new kitchen
Totally.
is. Totally, that was the
Kitchen
whole-
is now a pantry.
Yeah, so we kept the
Wow.
stove, the dishwasher, the sink, and the fridge footprint of the old kitchen, and said this would make a good pantry. So that's where. So you have the dishwasher there, then you have the dishwasher in the main kitchen.
Yep.
So you have two dishes, So you have two dishwashers. You have three ovens, because the main oven has the 48-inch with
Yep.
the double, and then we wanted to offer gas cooking in the main kitchen, and then induction in the pantry. So that way it can.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so then that way people have the option for induction and gas, and they can kind of choose what they want to cook.
So I know you haven't seen the footage yet, but when it does come out, you're going to see it. But we did a real highlight on that custom stove. The gas one that you've got in there, that thing is so gorgeous. I don't even want to know what that sucker cost.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Yeah,
but,
not cheap.
But I'm talking more of the space, how you did the spice racks on the side. And guys, you can see it right there in that little alcove where the stove is. Yeah. They actually built in spice racks on the sides. It's got the pot filler. It's got that, what did you call the skull?
Disquoval.
Disquoval.
Yeah.
Squoval.
That's and honestly, so we've done this. I like to call this as like a grotto style hood, so where it comes down to the countertop and it's more inset. We've done 3 of those on customers' houses too in the last year. It's something that's kind of I think in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see a lot of this type of stuff. That's our biggest thing is we really try to, which my wife is amazing at, staying ahead of the trends, right?
Yeah.
So like a lot of the stuff that we do is dareful, but almost every time, a year or 2 years later, these national designers, hey, this is what's on trend. Oh, I built that 2 years ago.
Do you want to hear something crazy? So now the next picture up is showing the front windows, and it's focusing on the fireplace. And you talk about being ahead of the game. Guys, that fireplace, that's wood slats as the ambiance or whatever. What do you call that around the fireplace?
So that's the Squoval framed fireplace, which I framed myself because my framers couldn't understand how to do it. So I got in there and framed that. And then that's a pole wrap is what that's called. That's an oak pole wrap that wraps around that for the full wood surround on that fireplace.
And then I don't think I have a picture in here, but when you actually walk into the house, it's a split entry, which blows my mind.
It's an incredible split entry.
Yeah,
I feel like it's almost like that railing that's in that split entry is a custom designed railing. I'm
talking about the sitting, the
little mud bench.
The little mud bench, and the same exact backdrop is on the mud room or the mud bench that's on the fireplace.
And the end of the hallway and the niches in the master, so that pole wrap is kind of a theme that's carried throughout the home.
Okay, so I got the front of the house out. As you can see, guys, full bank of beautiful windows. I mean, the views and the openness and the natural light and oh my gosh.
How about that family
on and on
room?
And on.
How about entertaining in that house would be pretty amazing, right? So
cool. And I mean, he opened up the entryway like big time.
Oh yeah.
It was actually kind of funny. He's so smart because he's got before pictures, like big, nice printed pictures all over the house of what it looked like before. So you can actually stand in a spot and hold the picture and look at it and go, wow, check that out.
Yeah.
But on the very back of this, and again, it's hard to explain this to you guys without a visual, but on the very back of this house, off the kitchen, there was an illegally built space or addition that was basically cantilevered over the back, so it covered the basement coming out.
Yep.
And they took that completely off and turned it into just a beautiful, gorgeous covered deck. And it just opened up everything.
Yeah, and a lot of work. Like, people don't realize the amount of work. Like, the slider door that went from the old house into that was where that range is now. So we had to close that in, re-brick the back of the house.
Plus, there was a window on the other side.
Yeah, so we had to retie new brick in seamlessly with the old brick. And just a lot of the stuff. I mean, the basement, none of the windows met egress. They were small. We had to cut the foundation to get bigger windows in the basement. And just these things that go through to do stuff properly. That's... When I do something, I want to hand the keys over to someone and say, hey, this is pretty much a brand new house at this point. This is going to last the test of time just like a new house. So I really
tell us what you were telling us about the electrical. Just the electrical.
Yeah, just the electrical. Super scary. The previous owner had thought they were a DIYer. We actually pulled wires out of the attic that were full charred. Because there was too many circuits running on a single, too much load on a singular circuit. Anyways, we stripped it just to pull new wire in the house, not including any outlets, just the Romex being pulled almost $17,000. So big money, right? Yeah. But you want to make sure things are done right, especially when you're building a house of this caliber or remodeling a house of this caliber.
Bro, big cojones, dude.
Yeah. You got
like, this is a big boys game.
Yeah,
we were talking about this in my office earlier about, it's like gambling. If you don't gamble the big dollars, you're not going to win big. It's the same with these houses, But man, scary.
He doesn't believe that way. He says that he thinks that's the only place to play.
He does.
I have an abundance mindset, and honestly, at the end of the day, like I feel I like to stay in that. So, I mean, majority of my projects are $1.5 to $2.5 million. That's kind of where I like to hang out because I can deliver a very high quality product. And just to be frank, the numbers are there.
Right.
They work out.
Well, so if you're an agent out there and have a client that actually fits this mold, which it's not a very big mold. There's very few people that do what you do.
Yeah.
And you're friendly to agents.
Yeah, I love work. I mean, it's my background in being an agent, and still, I mean, I just finished my CE and renewed my license last week. I'm still an active
most
agent.
builders don't like us.
Yeah, I know they don't. Yeah, and I know that because I come from a background of working with builders that didn't like when I brought agents on the other side of the deal.
Right.
And so when I started Vibe Homes, I was always going to be an agent-friendly builder. That was just something that was very important to me.
And it's important to us because let's be honest, none of that starts for you without us.
Totally. I mean, two of the multi-million-dollar build jobs I had last year, two of the 5 homes were brought by agents, and I loved working with those agents. And those agents are now still out there hustling to get me more because they loved working with me too, and their clients are so happy.
Plus, what we learn through the whole entire process. Right. That's what I'm like. I would love to be involved in this just to see the process.
Well, and for agents out there who have clients that are looking in this upper range, it's smart because, like, perfect example, I'm building a house right now in East Draper. The clients purchased the lot for about $450,000. The clients are paying me about $1.5 million to build this beautiful home. Before we even broke ground, the bank had approved the house, appraised the house at $2.5 million. They already have $500,000 equity before we've even broken ground on
You didn't change the price and grab all that?
No. So that's no, because I'm a cost plus builder. Everything's fully transparent.
And is that one that an agent brought to you?
So funny enough, that's actually my buddy that I'm building it for that is an agent. And he's actually thinking when he got that appraisal from the bank, now he's thinking about selling. Now he's thinking about not even moving into this house and selling it as a spec.
Is your buddy named Aaron?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have a neighbor that is an agent that's building a house. That's why we asked in Draper.
I'm like, what?
So if you're an agent or if you're flat out,
way too friendly of him to be the right
guy. Anyways, any of you out there that are actually looking that either want to do a full-on renovation of your current property, high end.
Yep.
Let's stress that there's plenty of other guys out there that are willing to do a normal.
Yeah, go in and knock out a kitchen or something.
Right.
That's just not. I'm not willing to scab something together. Like when
right.
I go in, trying to turn a house into a new house.
Yeah, it's your masterpiece.
Yeah.
Each one is. And all I can say, guys, if you haven't been through this house on Robidoo, if you want us to take you through it, call me. I'll take you through it. This place, I'll sell it for you, bud.
Yeah, it's an incredible house.
And yes, he's offering a full commission to the agent for selling it.
Yeah, full commission,
which I love because I am not a discount freaking agent.
You want to know what? In 2019, when I started to see those trickle in, and those 2.5s and those type of things, I just was like, what are we doing? Like, this is the backbone.
We're bastardizing the entire industry. Yeah. And then you got these companies out there like Homey and those, and they we're
not supposed to say that word.
Really? Right? Yeah, I know. Well, it is what it is, and that's the reality. And I didn't create their freaking bullshit.
Yeah,
not me.
They really just don't offer. I mean, if you've ever done a deal with Homey, which
it is a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, right? Every time you call, you get a different person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a nightmare trying to get
dude, call.
And everything.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Call
would be great if I could actually talk to a freaking person. I did an entire deal. Never talked to him one time.
Yeah.
It was all 100% through text or emails.
If you're a seller, it feels just like that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they have just as much trouble as us that are in the industry.
But it's super inexpensive, and somebody that's all they care about sometimes.
Hey, so if you're
client.
if you're that you're not our client. If you want to go and cheap change your biggest asset that you have,
right,
knock yourself out. But we're not going to help you with it.
Yeah, I think in today's day and age, it's crazy to not have good representation on both sides. You know?
Dude, I use the analogy all the time. If you had brain cancer, would you go start shopping freaking doctors to find you the cheapest and who's going to give you the best deal?
Yeah.
Hell no. You're going to go find whoever the best doctor is, no matter what it costs.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's your life.
Yeah.
Well, most of these people have spent their entire life either buying smaller, building up. It's by far their biggest. I mean, I would say probably 98% of people out there, their biggest asset they own is their home.
Yeah.
And yet they want to shortchange and cheapen when it comes down to trying to sell it or go buy a new one.
I know.
Makes no sense to me, man.
No.
Especially when you got guys like us that will actually do our job and are passionate about it, and we'll fight for them and make sure it runs smooth and there's no issues, and on and on and on. It's a big deal.
So just out of curiosity, I know we spoke about this off air, but the average Joe would need to come in and have a bunch of cash to be able to come do this kind of a thing. But it sounds like there's new financing options. And
yeah, there is. Everyone's getting really, all the banks are kind of stepping up right now. Like we had spoke, I think Mountain America Credit Union and a few other lenders are stepping up to offer these programs to help people afford to be able to remodel their homes without having to go and get like a HELOC or something like that. They'll actually value the home
or a construction loan.
Yeah, and honestly, like I've done loans now at this point with pretty much every lender in the valley. And Mountain America Credit Union on the construction loan of things. I feel like I'm plugging Mountain America right now. I should get something from this.
I don't have a graphic for
them.
them.
I know, but like really, so like they have a one-time close construction loan right now. They can wrap the law into it, and they've actually had this for years, and I've had lots of clients do this. It's 18-month term without need for any extension, so there's plenty of time to build the home, and unless we're talking about, a 15,000 square foot home. It may take longer than 18 months. But anyways, they lock you the one-time close, and then during that 18 months when you're building the home, if rates come down at all through that period, they'll relock you at the lower rate for
what?
That doesn't. I don't even understand the product, but it's like unbeatable. They'll relock.
How do you,
and what is their control over it, Zach? As you're going through the process.
Honestly, the draw process and everything with them is very seamless. Like as a builder, I love working with them, and I've worked with a lot of, probably 10 different banks and credit unions in the valley.
Yeah.
And for me, I think Mountain America is the one that the other lenders need to try to follow their program because it's easier, safer for the clients, and it's better for the builders.
Dude, you should have told me. I would have grabbed a graphic, throw up there for him.
Yeah.
Mountain America.
Yeah.
We're going to send this to you through that cat right there.
Yeah.
We are the agents that will go out and find these clients for you. So let's chat.
Yeah, and if anyone, and it doesn't have to be a $3 million custom home. I think even if you're in that range of like a $1.5 million budget, I still think that you're going to walk into the most amount of equity building new. I've been doing new houses now since 2015, and I've been a big believer ever since then that if you want instant equity, no matter what the market's doing, building is probably the best way to go. But you have to have a builder who knows how to build with value. You can't obviously go and hire a builder that builds at
that's going to charge you top dollar and skimp here and skimp there.
And so it's just, and there's really good builders. There's some really good builders, but those builders are more for the $3 to $5 million price point because those clients don't care if they walk into equity. Whereas, being able to deliver that equity in that $1 to $3 million range, some big equity, you just need to find a builder that can deliver the value.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like your attitude, bud. It's not just all about the dollar and what you're putting in your pocket. And just like this whole thing with Mountain America where they'll adjust the rate if it does come down.
Yeah.
You doing custom builds at cost plus 10 and taking care of the agent.
Yeah. Totally taking care of the agent. That's what we need to do is, like I said, I think it goes all the way down to I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 15 years old, and I think just having an abundance mindset, I think the scarcity mindset gets in people's way. I don't look at these other builders as my competition. There's plenty of pie in the valley.
That sounds familiar.
There's plenty of all of that. We just need to do our jobs and do our jobs right, and honestly,
be fair.
Yeah, and be fair. And then, I mean, right now, I mean, I'm lucky enough to where we pretty much work on referral. I spend no money on marketing, you know, and so we've gotten to a point, you know, we have 5-star Google reviews, and I'm proud of that. You know,
you should be.
So that, like those type of things, and I just try to really stand behind, create lifelong relationships with my clients. I mean, that's really what I always tell them. I don't care what you think about me now, but I want you to love me when your house is done.
Oh, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's kind of our philosophy with our clients as well. We created a system called the VIP 50, and it's basically you're taking 50 people in your sphere of influence, and you are showing up for that 50 people, man. And it works, dude, because we're a 100% referral based business.
Yeah, that's the way we all need to be.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I think that
earn it.
And times like this, through the last 6 months to a year, it really weeds out the guys who don't operate like that.
Yeah.
That's really what happens.
Like it, man. Well, this cat's a cool cat, and like I said, I just met him yesterday because I called him and bugged him, and he was gracious and totally open to us going in there with the film crew and making it all happen. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for you to see the finished product.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, it's like I said, it turned out better than I could have expected. I mean, when I first seen it, I mean, that's obviously my wife behind that. She really, man, it's
amazing.
It's incredible. I mean, that thing should be in the Parade of Homes. That's the level that house is. It should be in the Parade of Homes.
That's awesome, dude.
Totally agree, man. We featured a house, or I featured a house on my social media with Tiani Shoemaker. I asked you about her yesterday, and this house is just off a foothill. Same caliber. They went in. They spent, I mean, $400,000 or $500,000. I mean, did everything, and it really speaks to people like you guys out there that are making this product and you know, making it at a fair price.
Yeah. Trying to that's the goal, right? The goal is to try to do it, but not rip people off. Like
exactly,
to get people into a nice home.
Yeah, and I mean, this house has tons of parking, and the street is a good wide, I mean, killer street. Love the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I liked all the light with the windows and
the windows are amazing.
The view out that front family room, just of the mountains right there. It is being south facing. I mean, it's got so many things going for it.
It does,
and it's on I think a
third of an acre,
which is hard to find right there. A lot of those houses are only on quarters, so plenty of room if someone wanted to put a pool or build a shop off the side of the house. Or I mean, there's room.
It's got it all. Just pull out 1.9 and call the cat.
Yeah, yep, for sure.
Right?
Yep.
Hey,
which
man,
I think it's a killer deal.
It is a killer deal.
Go back. That's only 374 square foot, and a couple months ago, nothing in that area was selling for under about 415 to 420. So I've already
passing value.
I mean, we're really passing value. As soon as the market, you know, what we all know, as soon as these interest rates come down,
it's going to be a
$2.2 to $2.3 million house like that.
Dang.
And here's what's funny in our filming yesterday, and my son will probably kill me for saying this, but because I'm giving away a little bit from what we just filmed. But one of the spots we had yesterday was about the least. We brought you in and talked to about the least value,
undervalued
the undervalued area and the overvalued area, and I'm just telling you, at 374, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Compared that to the backside of the mountain,
Park City.
Oh yeah.
Overvalued.
Oh yeah.
Major.
I mean, we're talking
$1,000 a foot.
$1,500 a square foot. I mean, I just told you about that house.
20 minutes.
$32 million.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Is the difference.
Oh yeah. And those people up there live in the houses 2 weeks a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's all just so
staged
that
for
keeping
Christmas,
up with the Joneses because I have the zip code.
Well, you know the colonies right there on Park City. They're only allowed to live in those houses like 3 months a year is what someone told me. Just this, one of my buddies framed a bunch of houses up there.
And what's the rest?
It has to be unoccupied the rest of the year. You're not even allowed to live in the house full time if you wanted to.
What the fub?
I got to do some research on that, but it's crazy. As you ride up the resort, all of the houses are vacant. They're all sitting empty.
So tell me, in your opinion, what is the most overvalued city?
Oh, overvalued city
or area
here in Utah or Wasatch Front?
Here in Wasatch Front.
Wasatch Front. So just right here.
No, here in northern Utah.
Okay, northern Utah.
What do you think is the most overvalued real estate?
Well, yeah, it's got to be up in Park City if we're going to talk about Park City. It has to be Park City, Midway, Heber. I mean, because you got like the Victory Ranch, right? You got cabins up there for $20 million. It's like, but
Red Ledges.
Colony. Perfect example. Yeah. Red Ledges. That's one that.
So, do you agree with me? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, 100%.
They aren't value shopping. They're there for.
I understand that, and understand it's not. I'm not trying to pick on them. Yeah. I mean, I sell real estate there. I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just. It was asked to me, and I'm curious.
It has to be up there. I mean, when you're spending $1,500 a square foot to be 20 minutes.
Insane.
I just, those prices are, I mean, they're having trouble with it right now in Park City to where everyone who works up there, nobody lives up there because
they can't.
People who work in the city can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's like turning into California.
Yeah. Man. The up there's already California pricing, but there's a lot of builders up there who are also capitalizing on that.
Okay. So next question, most undervalued city.
Undervalued city right now.
I'm curious what you say.
Undervalued right now, this is going to be crazy, but it's probably, and we're looking on a long-term scale, it's probably going to be places like Eagle Mountain, places like that, to where you can still pick up stuff super affordable, but I feel like long-term, there's going to be crazy growth in those areas.
No, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking of the areas that have the most potential for growth. I would have said Harriman 5 years ago. Harriman's already gotten super expensive.
It's already there.
Yeah, so it's some of those.
Between Harriman and West Jordan.
Yeah, Tooele's having issions because they don't have the water.
Right.
So, I think
that whole valley out there. It's not just Tooele. It's Grantsville, Tooele, Erda.
They're gonna have building moratoriums because of water issues out there. So it's gonna slow down out there because of water. So, I think a water impact fee out there might be like $20,000 on a house right now.
Oh my gosh!
So do you want to know what I said was most undervalued?
Let's hear it.
Midvale.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Here's my whole reasoning. You've got Holiday, you've got Cottonwood Heights, you've got
Sandy,
Mill Creek, all surrounding Midvale. And yet in Midvale, you can still buy a house. Yes, you can buy it. There's homes up in Midvale that are at the higher end. We're in Midvale right now. There are homes that are within 1 or 2 blocks of any of those cities I just mentioned, that if you crossed over that line,
over a border,
if you went into a different zip code, it's going to exponentially. I mean, I don't know how much more, but it's a lot.
I mean, you could say that for White City and Sandy.
Yes,
right.
I mean,
yes.
Right in the middle of Sandy, there's a pocket of super cheap homes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So there is those pockets.
But then you go to the west side or even central Midvale, and it's great pricing. I mean, you can fit almost any budget in Midvale.
I think the biggest thing that's going to hold Midvale back is the move up buyers that have kids that are looking for what school. I think just the schools. The schools. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And because people want the newer remodeled. I mean, they just did Crescent and Sandy. They're going through and trying to remodel some of these schools, and it's paying off. But I think that's the biggest. I know for me, like I got 3 little boys. Like
schooling is very important.
I love the schools that they are slated to go to.
Got it.
I mean, that's super important to me, and I tell my wife all the time, I don't think I'd want to move very far because I want the kids to go to the schools. You know what I mean? So
I think as far as schools, and again, if you don't agree with me, tell me. It's just an opinion, but our schools here in Utah far, far, far exceed. Even our worst schools far exceed what other schools are in other states and communities.
That's one of the draws to Utah for sure.
I think Utah as a whole, our school system as a general is pretty awesome.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But again, I mean, it's your kids.
yeah, it is. When people are looking for lots to build a custom home on, I know schools comes up frequently.
It does.
It does, especially high schools.
Yeah. Oh yeah. High schools are big.
You know, are you at Alta? Are you at Skyline? Are you? Yeah.
All those. Yeah. They all come into play.
Dude, it was such a big deal back when I graduated. You know, I had so many choices.
Oh yeah.
It was
right?
either the Malad Dragons or the Malad Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think here locally, whether you lived in Harriman, South Jordan, West Jordan, I think there was Jordan on
and
the
they let
east
you
side,
school shop.
and there was Bingham Old Bingham up in Copper
Right.
on the
Right.
east side. So like there wasn't, a whole different animal. My dad went to the Old Bingham and tells me stories about them drag racing out on Bacchus
Oh,
Highway,
yeah.
and yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, dude, I grew up in Malad, Idaho, and I was in the top 50 of my high school class.
Because there was only 50.
There was 42.
Okay. I figured there was something behind that.
Don't ask me what number I was. It was definitely a double digit.
That's funny.
The Parry Dean hadn't been. He was in the works at that point in time. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, man, it's been fun chatting with you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really glad I reached out to you yesterday, dude. You've got a lot of knowledge, and I love your attitude. I love your attitude about just real estate in general.
Yeah.
And I want to do some deals with you, man.
Yeah, I'll take 1 second too, like just to talk about if anyone wants to get involved. I sit on the chair for the young professionals for the Home Builders Association, and I'm taking over community service, and I'm doing a full-scale top-to-bottom remodel right now. We're going to be starting in a couple weeks right off of 8600 South, 7th Eastish for a project called the Milestone Project.
Okay.
To where it's going to be full charity, so they're not going to pay a dollar.
Dang.
Milestone, actually, what they do is they take homeless youth, so anyone 18 to 21.
So it's going to be a home for the youths to have somewhere to get them off the street.
So it already is. So it's already been they already have a couple houses. This is just one of the old houses that's really falling apart and it's really kind of struggling. But so we have the boys moving out in the next couple weeks, and then we're going to remodel it. We're going to put the house in the Parade of Homes, so it is going to be featured on the Parade of Homes, and then just more to raise awareness. But the Milestone project is something that I hope Governor Cox gets more involved with, and I hope that. So
we're calling you out, Gov.
It is because so you have kids who come out of foster care, and they don't have a family. Right?
They age out.
They age out of foster care. After they age out of foster care, 48% of these kids are either incarcerated or living on the streets within 12 months.
Wow.
So what this does is this house gives the kids somewhere to live. It makes them get a job. The kids pay rent.
They've got direction.
They make them get a job. They make them do these classes. They can live there for up to 18 months or 24 months. Then they take all the rent, they give it to the kids, and they place them in. They give them all their rent back. They give them their furniture that they put in, everything. They put them in like an apartment or something, make them keep their job. This Milestone project has a 92% success rate.
Dang.
That after 5 years, these kids still are holding down their job and have their own place of living and all of that. And it saves right now they have 19 boys per year is what they're able to do between their houses. And just those 19 boys saves the state $3 million annually on what those kids would do if they ended up being homeless.
There's your numbers, Gov.
Right.
Wow,
$3 million
dude.
Okay, I got one question.
So I need people to.
How do we get involved?
Yeah, I actually had a meeting this week with the I forgot her name, but she's the head of the board. She's the president of the board of realtors right now.
Okay.
So
Don Stevens.
Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to get. We need funding if anyone wants to donate. It's a 501c3, or if anyone knows just
our next mixer,
plumbers.
How about that?
Electricians or anybody like that.
Yes, we do.
Up and donate stuff, all of that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Got it all.
And we just want to spread the word about how incredible this Milestone project is, because these houses should be being built all over, everywhere.
Right.
They shouldn't just be being built here. They should be being built in Utah County, because this is just a Salt Lake County thing. And crazy statistic is right now
there's more than 19 kids.
Just in Salt Lake and Davis County alone, there's over 1,000 high school seniors homeless right now.
1,000.
1,000 high school seniors home right now, living on couches.
I seriously don't.
It's crazy.
It just floors me.
I'm so oblivious.
So
dude.
we want to stop homelessness, right? We want to help.
Amen.
Why aren't we solving it where it starts?
Agreed.
Because that is a lot easier than after they've been living on the street for 20 years.
Oh, now, right now.
Yeah. Like, let's.
So, dude, you didn't know what you were getting into when I called you yesterday.
Dude, this is great.
And we're sucking you all the way in, dude. All the way.
And this is a small. I own another home building company called Collective Build and Design that we build custom luxury cabins, mostly focused in Garden City. We can do. I mean, we could have multiple episodes right by Bear Lake.
Yeah.
We build up by Bear Lake that company and. Same thing, a lot of value. The cabin that we just finished, between the lot and cabin, the clients paid about $900. It appraised a couple weeks ago for $1.4 million. They're walking into $500,000
in equity, straight out.
Finished out straight out.
Well, buddy, we do a mixer every single month. The mixer is based around
local charity,
which we're gonna have yours as our February mixer.
Okay.
We do it the second Thursday of every month, so we want to get you and we'll talk off air. But I'm just telling you, as long as Aaron's cool with that,
I love it.
We're gonna make sure that you're our charity for February, and we'll start promoting it. We put out a newsletter. I mean, on and on and on and on.
You know what? There's a couple of the charities we've run into that I think needs to be like a quarterly recurring.
Well, yeah. I mean, we've already done the coat drive. We've done the food drive.
Brendan's as well.
Brendan's. You know, it's for PTSD with vets. It's a program that helps them deal with it and get over it. And this guy came up with it's basically a virtual reality where they play a game and it helps them get over their PTSD. And previous to him doing this, it would cost a vet and out of pocket was $40,000 to partake in this program.
Wow.
And now it's the cost of a pair of VR goggles.
Wow.
And a video game.
$500.
That's incredible.
Isn't that cool?
That's super cool.
Yeah. So anyways, we do these mixers. That's the reason we do these mixers, and so that we can network with other people, whether it's other agents. There's no competition in what we do, man.
No.
We're all in.
We're all in. Yeah.
We're all in. We're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
I don't care if you're an agent in our brokerage or an agent somewhere else. Join us, man. The more the merrier. The more money we can raise for these awesome programs.
Yep.
That I just love it.
That goes back.
I'm getting
to
the tingles.
You
dude.
have the abundance mindset.
Yep.
That's all what it is, right? We're all in this together.
Dang, man.
All in this together, dude. You're a cool cat, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
so
Thanks for
freaking.
coming in, man.
I'm so freaking happy. I called you yesterday.
Hey, me too, man. Me too.
Okay, well, people, we've yacked long enough. We just keep getting longer and longer, dude. We've got a lot of air. So we appreciate Zach coming on and being our guest, and more to come from this guy for sure. And again, if you haven't subscribed. Just go to our YouTube channel, Beards on the Street, and subscribe.
Make this thing grow.
Hey, one last shout out to Gabe. Way to
Gabe.
Go, my boy.
Aaron's boy took the test yesterday and passed it. So for real estate,
Going to be a
third or fourth generation of stressed out.
And hey, you little punk! I sent you a message and said, "When are we sitting down?" And you were ignoring me. Yeah. Better answer.
He's got like 3 different brokerages chasing him.
Yeah, well, there's only one.
Yeah.
Right here, right?
And there's only one team.
Right.
That's awesome.
So anyways, guys, we really appreciate any of you that have been watching.